getting through to this stage by taking down Vladimir Fedoseev, there was quite a bit of fortune. He did have the upper hand. He won Fedoseev's queen, but that final position just before he won the rook, it was actually Fedoseev's hand. So I think young Nepomniachtchi, he's counting his blessings. It's a new day and it's a new opponent, but they're getting no less fierce.
Yeah, Nepomniachtchi back with the Barca jersey, but no Catalan on the board. Starts with the King's Pawn opening. E4 played the Spanish, and we had a Berlin. Anyone surprised?
Not too surprised. I did mention that Alireza Firouzja has been employing the Berlin a lot lately. I'm pleased though. I'm pleasantly surprised to see Jan Nepomniachtchi not enter the Berlin endgame or any forced drawing lines. This one is promising to be a tense middle game battle. There's been a trade of one set of pieces, white slice square bishop, the Spanish bishop trading off for a black knight, damaging the black pawn structure slightly, and now the game will take a slower maneuvering kind of nature. But yeah, Robert, it looks like Alireza trying to be solid in this early stage, yet he's the first one to think.
It's funny because this is mainline theory, but there are different options. He brings his queen out to d6. Some players like to slide their bishop back to defend his pawn on e5. Others will retreat their knight back to d7 because you want to create a pawn chain. But this queen move up to d6, it walks into the line of fire. Wow! Speaking of firing, b4 Tanya? I don't think I've seen this before. This is a pawn sacrifice going after the black bishop, but that bishop can just take the pawn.
Is this a novelty? b4, I've never seen it before. Robert's not seen it before. David, are you at all familiar with this pawn sacrifice? And what happens if black actually gets greedy? We're about to find out.
We're finding out the proof in the eating. How does it work? You've got to take up the challenge essentially. Proof in the pudding is the eating, that's it. Thank you, Robert. Essentially, you have to grab material if you want to refute your opponent's idea. Instead of timidly retreating, Alireza says, yes, I'm taking that pawn. And I can confess, I have studied this position before. I can't remember exactly how the line goes, but essentially it's long, it's forced essentially to find some really creative defenses just to cling on and survive. So I really love this idea by Jan Nepomniachtchi. I believe it's been played in the past by the likes of Jules Roussard, French Grandmaster, and Alireza, he's been caught off guard. Exclamation mark from this last move. It reminds me, Robin, of a Evans Gambit, but in the Spanish opening, or just thrown away from a pawn or a couple of tempo.
It makes perfect sense. Once I see it on the board, I would be too afraid to give a pawn, as Jan Nepomniachtchi just did, and Alireza in for a thing, but I do believe the bishop has to slide in this direction. The downside of going to a5 is it allows the white bishop to get out on this open diagonal and probably prevent black from castling anytime soon. But if the bishop goes to c5, if it can bring up an analysis board, this is a very direct plan from the white side, is that white wants to push in the center. You give away a flank pawn so that you can push in the center, and if black continues to take things, then you pay the full price. This is a baby fork, but it wins a knight because your queen and knight are both threatened. You move the queen, you lose the knight. And so
He's been forced one row back, but now it's the second rank defense, where Black on his own second rank here, the 7th, from White's point of view, he's holding the line, he's not allowing any checks, and if the White bishop ever tries to move, he'll kick the White king away. He's doing perfectly. This is one to study for everyone at home. This is a defensive masterclass. Still, Jan Nepomniachtchi unable to break through. Still has to be careful for Firouzja, but he's edging ever closer now. Only a few moves left, 5 more moves I believe, and we will see this game declared drawn. So impressive, Robert.
This is great defense, perfect defense from Firouzja, continuing to keep the king. That was like, what was that from Jan? He gave away his rook, and now it's Alireza who can play for the win. It's still a draw, everybody, but that was ridiculous.
That has to be a slip. What? Oh my god! And now it's a 50-move counter, and it's Jan Nepomniachtchi who has to make it through that. Of course, the defensive resource is that you put your king on the corner, which is the opposite color of your own bishop, where Jan is already. But it's Alireza who's trying for a win now, David.
Game that never ends. It's a real marathon here. Clearly, Nepomniachtchi loves playing chess so much that he wanted to entertain us with another 50 moves. Remember, rook and bishop versus rook was a draw. This is also a draw, arguably even easier, but still a lot of work to do to prove it. There's going to be checkmating ideas against the white king. The problem is the black king can never obtain the opposition and sit opposite the white king, and therefore there's always one escape square. But Nepomniachtchi confidently building up time here, 40 seconds left. There's still a chance he might blunder. It's still possible to go wrong. These top players. Finally, it's a draw, Robin.
Did you see that gave away his rook? So a bit of humor between these two. Jan Nepomniachtchi, he did have the upper hand once Alireza